One kid just yells, I don't even know what it meant. He goes, go back to your job at Foot Locker. And at that moment, like, I was so confused. Like, when did Foot Locker become lame? Like, what does he even mean by that? Like, Foot Locker, like, I don't have a ref's outfit on. Like, that's where they wear the stripes. And Bad Religion, one of my all-time favorite bands. And just as a punker growing up, I have so much history with them. And I'm super grateful because I became friends with those guys growing up. And they're such just a great group of people. When I started doing stand-up, Jay Bentley of Bad Religion, the bass player, he was so supportive. I was doing this show called California Calling, and it was stories about growing up punk rock and about how my mom sent me to live with my dad. And that really changed my entire life, because if I wouldn't have been sent to live with my dad when I was about 15 years old, I wouldn't have met all the people in my life that turned me on all to the music that generally shaped me for the next 40 years of my life. And when I started doing that show, California Calling, one of the first times I ever did it at the Key Club in Hollywood, Jay Bentley showed up. And I was so taken back by it. When I started doing stand-up, he was supportive of that too. Just such a solid person. He was so supportive that Bad Religion was celebrating their 30-year anniversary. This is years ago. But they were doing like a week's worth of dates. And I get a call from Jay. He goes, you should open. And I'm like, what? And he's like, dude, how sick would it be? You would come out, you do your bit, and then then we'll come on. And I'm like, I don't think things through a lot of the times. Like, that's one of my, I don't know if it's a blessing or if it's a curse. I get asked to do things and I'm like, all right, let's do it. Like, or, all the time, like, I'll get put on a show. I don't know where I'm at on the show's lineup. I don't know, half the time I don't even know where the show's at. I'm just driving there in maps. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I'll do it. But it's just because I love to perform. And when Jay asked me to open for Bad Religion, I was like, let's do it. Didn't even think about it. The night comes, the show's sold out, and it's all the floor, all the balcony. I come out on stage, and I get an introduction, I think from maybe someone at the club or someone from the radio station, and the crowd has no idea what's going on. As I'm coming out on stage, I don't even say anything into the microphone. But before I can do anything, this guy up front, this kid, he's like got tats and slick back hair. He just yells up, I love you, Josib. And I'm like, wow, and the whole crowd just, like that, silent, like nothing. But then up in the balcony, this other voice that just sounded so gnarly and like just scary just yells down, you suck, Josib. And the crowd, like they go nuts, right? Little guy, I'll never forget, yells up at the scary voice, hey man, you better shut up before I make you shut up. I'll come up there. And the scary voice yells back down, dude, come on up, give it your best shot. Before I know it, that kid climbs on the stage. He runs by me, goes up, and now there are two dudes just throwing blows on each other. I remember they turned the lights on. A kid did a stage dive. These dudes are fighting over me. And at that moment, I realized I had said nothing into the microphone. I hadn't said one word yet. And all that hit me was, I was like, are there really two dudes fighting over me right now? Is that where I'm at in my life? So I made it through that show. But once again, like, I get myself into these situations about 3 months later, I got asked by Matt Hensley from Flogging Molly he goes, you should come down to Carlsbad. I own a bar, and I'd love for you to do your thing down there. Come down and do, you got to remember this, this is a while ago. Like, comedy was not where it is now, where everyone's a comic. Like right now with comedy, it's like ska band. Everyone's in the ska. It's just everyone. So back then, like, audiences weren't really trained. So I go all the way down to Carlsbad to do a show at Matt Hensley's bar, and I get there, not one single person shows up. It's literally nobody. And it's getting closer and closer to showtime. And then all of a sudden, 4 people show up. And it's Tom DeLonge and his wife, Rick DeVoe, Tom DeLonge's manager, and his wife. Four people. And I go, what's up? And Rick's like, what's up, Sibby? Yeah, we're so stoked. Yeah, I brought Tom with me. Yeah, man, we're so psyched to see you. And I'm like, well, that's cool because no one else is. And they're like, what? No one came? I'm like, no one's here. And I remember I literally didn't even use a microphone. And they go, oh, okay. Well, I go, well, I'll still do my show if you want. And I did my whole hour to the four of them. I said, you know what, F it, I'll do it. And I did it. And when I got done, Tom DeLonge goes, oh my God, I love it. He goes, I love it. He goes, Joe, and this is when he was in Angels and Airwaves. And he goes, hey man, I heard you open for Bad Religion. And, and I go, yeah, obviously he had not heard how that show went, And him and Rick go, hey, Angels and Airwaves is headlining the Palladium. We want you to open. And once again, what do I say? I'm like, yeah, dude, that'll be cool. I don't even think about it. I just got kicked in the nuts doing the Bad Religion thing, and I'm okay. Yes, sir. Might have another. And I go to the Palladium, and this time it's 3,500 Angels and Airwaves fans. And I remember before I get there, Tom says to me, he goes, hey man, just so you know, I really want you to know our audience is gonna love you. They're gonna love you. And I'm all, really? And he goes, yeah, because they're like Sunday school kids. They're just really cool. They're very polite. They're gonna love you. And I go, okay. So that night, I show up at the Palladium. I'll never forget it. Angels and Airwaves got their dressing room. Rick and Tom got me my own dressing room. There's Heineken's in there. I hadn't learned at that point. Later on, I figured it out. Hey, if you open for a band, have someone from the band introduce you. Hey, you guys. All right, this is my friend Joseph. Boom. And you have 10 seconds for them to like you. At that point, it's on you. When I went out with Gaslight Anthem, Brian, hey, man, introduce me every night. It worked. All right, this night, no one introduces me. All the guys, Angels and Airwaves, are watching me from stage left. Rick's there. Tom's there. I'm like, oh my God, how great is that? Like, they're supportive, right? And I'm looking, I'm seeing them. They're like, yeah, because Tom's like, you're going to kill, dude. And then I come out there and I get into about, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds of my bit. And before I know it, I had never heard people chant, F you. And I'm like, whoa, like, what church do these kids go to? Because I've never heard of a Sunday school like this before. And they were pissed. They were not having it. And then, I start trying to figure out, okay, all right, I'll go into this. That's not working. Okay, I'll go into this. That's not working. It is just getting worse and worse by the second as I'm trying to get through this set. And then I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. I didn't see it. I heard it. And I don't know where it came from, but someone had got a bottle of water. And that night I saw, there's bottles of water in the Palladium. It's like $20 for the bottle this person bought. They didn't even take a sip off of it. And from wherever they were, they just said, oh no, this ain't happening. And they threw it and it gained so much speed. It was coming in. Like I said, I didn't see it. I heard it. At the last second, I move out of the way. I'm like, oh, damn. Like $20 for that's someone just going, yep, not feeling it. Don't keep the change. Boom, this guy's out of here. That moment, I'm like, all right, I need to get out of here. And one kid yelled something I'll never forget. Like, you hear heckles like, you suck. Okay, I do it. Hey, what's up? And one kid just yells, I don't even know what it meant. He goes, go back to your job at Foot Locker. And at that moment, like, I was so confused, like, when did Foot Locker become lame? Like, what does he even mean by that? Like, Foot Locker, like, I don't have a ref's outfit on. Like, that's where they wear the stripes. And I don't know, this is why I was totally just not, I was so in the moment that all of a sudden I was like, and I literally, the only thing I had to do was walk off stage left. That's all I needed to do. And I remember I looked at stage left, Tom's gone, Rick's gone, everyone, they bailed. They're like, we're out of here. We're not going to see this crash. And then I don't know why I did this. Instead of walking off of the stage, I walked off the front of the stage. To this day, I don't know why I did that. I walked off the front. And now I put myself in the middle. And do you know what it's like? I was walking through all these people that were this short because they were all little kids. They were all teenagers. And they were, as I walked from the front to the back of the 3,500 people, just, you sock people just flipping me off. It was like the worst way to exit the stage. And I just walked out of the front door of the Palladium. all the way around to where the Prius was parked, got in it, and drove away. I left my jacket in the dressing room. I had an extra pair. I just left. I just left. I just drove back home. And you know when and it was like I'm just driving by myself, like, and I'm trying to talk myself in, like, nah, it wasn't that bad. And the other voice is like, dude, what were you thinking?